Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom to you all, and let's. Yeah, Sibyl, I'm feeling better. It comes and goes, but I'm okay. Thank you. So I can see that we have already a lot of friends online. Deborah, Liz, Seymour, and Lola, Julie, Sarah Alston, Christine, Celia from Grenoble, Shabbat Shalom, and the Flanagans are here, the Flanagang, Meira, Shabbat Shalom you all. So I'm just going to try something, and we'll see if it works. And if it works, that will make me very, very happy. Let me check where it is. Let's see. We can do that because I wanted to start with special music tonight. So I'm going to see if it works in my screen. Okay, there's just a moment between Facebook and Restream. I think it doesn't work. Right, okay, no problem. Another time then, another time. So Shabbat Shalom, and let's light our Shabbat candles, and let's take our prayer books on page 67. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu להדליק נר של שבת. Shalom. Okay, we turn now to page 70, Psalm 95. 70, Psalm 95. לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה לאדוני. לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה לאדוני. נריה, נריה לצור אישנו נקדמה פניו בתודה. נריה, נריה לצור אישנו, בזמירות נריה לו. לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה לאדוני. לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה לאדוני. נריה, נריה לצור נקדמה פניו בתודה. נריה, נריה לצור אישנו, בזמירות נריה לו. לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה לאדוני. לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה לאדוני. We turn now to page 71 for Psalm 96. Shiru l'Adonai, Shir Chadash. Sing a new song to the Eternal One. Sing to your Creator, all the earth. שירו לאדוני, שירו שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני, שירו שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני ברכו שמו, בסרו מיום ליום ישועתו, שירו לאדוני ברכו שמו, בסרו מיום ליום ישועתו, שירו לאדוני, שירו שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני, שירו שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני ברכו שמו, בסרו מיום ליום ישועתו, שירו לאדוני ברכו שמו, בסרו מיום ליום ישועתו. Please turn to page 76. Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Asharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Amlachim, Akadosh, Akadosh Baruch Hu, בואכם לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון, ממלך מלאכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ברכוני לשלום, ברכוני לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון, ממלך מלאכי המלכים, הקדוש, הקדוש ברוך הוא. צאתכם לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון, ממלך מלאכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. צאתכם לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון. Peace be to you, ministering angels, messenger of the Most High, of the sovereign, the supreme sovereign, the Holy One, ever to be praised. Enter in peace, O messenger of the Most High, of the supreme sovereign, of the Holy One, ever to be praised. So let's turn now to page 78, which is another nice piyutim for Shabbat. Yedid Nefesh, soul's beloved, source of mercy, draw your servant to your will. Yedid Nefesh, Avarachaman, Meshoch Avdecha, El Retzonecha, Yarutz Avdecha, Kemo Ayal, Yishtachavel, Muladarach, ירב לו ידידותיך מנופת סוף וכל טעם la 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 ya la 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 יעלנה ופרוס חביב עלי את סוכת שלומר תאירי ארץ מכבודך נגילה ונשמחה בך תן מהר אהוב כי במועד וכוננו כי מעולם la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 la. Let's on to page 88 now, 88. And just wanted to share with you a conversation I had with my friend Vayera, who is a student rabbi, and she's in fourth year now. She's from Paris, and we were discussing this afternoon about what do we tell our congregants in a world that is so unsettling at the moment. So should we say it's going to be all right, don't worry, it's fine, don't be distressed, or should we say, oh well, we don't get stand? And then in our conversation, we realized that the best service we can actually offer you is to say, yes, it's tough. I mean, it's difficult. We're all under pressure. We have a second lockdown that started a couple of days ago now. We don't know what's going to happen. So today I went to a French embassy to renew my passport, and I asked the guy, do you think I can go to see my family over the end of year festivities? And he said, I don't think so. So we're all stuck somewhere, but I think the best thing we can do together is to say, yeah, okay, it's tough, it's difficult for all of us. We're all in it together, and it's all right. It's all right to be a bit distressed, to be a bit, to feel a bit down. That's perfectly normal because the situation is difficult, and we are very lucky as Jews because we have a community and we can be together. And I know that you are, at the end of a screen on the other end of my computer somewhere, and you're listening to me and interacting with on Facebook as well. So that's really what's important for us today, is to know that we're all in it together, and it's Shabbat. So, on Shabbat, we take extra time for us. And there is a very nice text that was written by Rabbi John René, Zichrono Livracha, page 88. And this is what he said. There are days when we seek material things and measure fail about what we do not own. On the Sabbath, we wish to acquire, but we wish not to acquire, but to share. There are days when we exploit nature with reckless greed. On the Sabbath, we stand in wonder before the mystery of creation. There are days when we think only of ourselves. Sabbath, we upon our heart to the needs and rights of others. And maybe we could continue this prayer and say there are days when we're distressed. There are days when we sometimes give in to despair or we're down. And on the Sabbath, we remember that there is something much bigger in time, the cycle of Sabbath, Shabbatot, since the creation of the world, I don't know how many, tradition says 5,791 years ago, and this helps us to put everything in perspective. So Psalm 92. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון, להגיד בבוקר חסדך, ואמונתך בלילות, עלי יחזור ועלי נבל, עלי היגיון בחינוך. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. כי שימחתני אדוני בפועלך, במעשה ידיך ארנן. מה גדלו מעשיך אדוני, מאוד עמקו מחשבותיך. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. Page 91 for Lecha Dodi, 91. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד. אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי היא מקורך ברכה. מראש מקדם נאסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך קומי אורי. אורי אורי שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. בואי ושלום עטרת בלם, גם בשמחה ובצולה. תוך אמוני עם סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. We're on page 92. ברכו את אדוני המבורך, ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד. We praise you, Eternal One, our God, sovereign of the universe, whose word brings on the evening, whose wisdom opens heavens, whose understanding changes times and seasons, and whose will sets the stars in their courses in the sky. You make day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light. You make day pass and bring on the night, and separate day from night. You rule the host of heaven. We praise your God, whose word makes evening fall. Unending love have you shown your people, the house of Israel. Torah, mitzvot, laws, and precepts have you taught us. When we lie down and when we rise up, we will reflect on the meaning of your laws and rejoice in the words of your Torah and your mitzvot forever. On them we will meditate day and night, for they are our life and the length of our days. May your love never depart from us. We praise you, O God. You love your people Israel. Shema Israel, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Adonai Echad. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך, ושננתם לבניך ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. All this we hold to be true and sure. You alone, Eternal One, are our God, and we are Israel, your people. You have freed us from oppressors and delivered us from tyrants. You led us out of Egypt forever to serve you in freedom. When we witness your power, we praise your name and give thanks. Willingly, we accepted your rule. Then, full of joy, we sang together. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורא תהילות אוסף אליהם. אדוני ימלוא לעולם ועד. ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, ועמידנו מלכנו לחיים, ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, ותקננו בעצה טובה מלפניך, והושיענו למען שמך, והגן בעדנו, והסתר מעלינו, אויב דבר וחרב ורעב ויגור. Grant, eternal God, that we may lie down in peace, and let us rise up to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace, guide us with your wise counsel, and for your name's sake be our help. Shield us from sickness and war, from famine and distress, and keep us from wrongdoing. Shelter us in the shadow of your wings, for you are our guardian and deliverer. A gracious and merciful God, guard our going out and our coming in, even now and always. We make life at peace. We praise you, O God. May you shelter in peace descend on us, on all who dwell on earth. And I'm inviting you now to turn to each version of the Daily Amidah, which is on page 62. So we'll do first the Hebrew together and then the English. And I will give you a few moments for private prayer meditation in between. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagi tehilatecha. Eternal God, open my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elokei avoteinu ve'emotenu, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah, Mechaye metim ha'el hakadosh. We praise you, eternal one, our God and God of our ancestors, shield of Abraham and protector of Sarah, source of eternal life, the Holy God. Havieinu Adonai Eloheinu la'adah derarecha, umol et levaveinu le'iratecha, v'tislach lanu lehiyot ge'ulim, v'chakeinu ממכאוב, ותן ברכה על פני האדמה, ושא נס לבגוד עשוקים, והדריכנו במשפט צדקך, והטועים אליך ישובו, וישמחו צדיקים בבניין עירך, ובצמיחת קרן ישועתך, ומלא ברחמים ורחמך כל משאלות ליבנו, שמע קולנו, אדוני אלוהינו. Give us understanding to know your ways, consecrate our hearts to revere you, forgive us and make us worthy of redemption, keep us far from sorrow, bestow blessing on the earth, raise high the banner of freedom for the oppressed, and guide us in your ways of justice. Those who go astray return to you, may the righteous rejoice in the building of your city, and behold the dawn of your deliverance. In your compassion, may the longings of our hearts become true. Shema koleinu Adonai Eloheinu, she'otecha levadecha be'ira na'avod, atov shimcha ulecha na'eh lehodot. Hear our prayer, eternal God, whom alone we worship in reverence, source of goodness, to whom our thanks are due. Baruch atah Adonai Oseh HaShalom. We praise your God, the source of peace. And we take now a few moments for private prayer meditation. May the Most High, source of perfect peace, grant peace to us, to all Israel, and to all humanity. Oseh shalom bimromav, uyaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Israel, ועל כל בני אדם. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל בני אדם. So I'm just going to go on the comment section on Facebook, and Phil, you're off for an early night. I hope you're okay. Jill and Norman, I hope you have very distorted reception. I don't know if it's only you. Alexandra, Shabbat Shalom. Yes, Meir, I agree with you. We can all do with reassurance from each other at this time. So, Sarah, I think our careless cats, apart from mine, of course, but they've quite enjoy being Jewish. Huh? Teresa, oh, my sister-in-law, she's watching from Alsace. Welcome, Teresa. It's good to see you. Sandra Levine and Paul, Shabbat Shalom to you. Jason, Shabbat Shalom. Donna, Logan, Shabbat Shalom. Jane, Shabbat Shalom to you. So what's with this Bant, Becca, and Christine? Okay, I'll see. I'll look at it later. James, Shabbat Shalom to you. Sandra Weber, Shabbat Shalom as well. Janet, Shabbat Shalom, Janet. Craig, and I think I haven't forgotten. Lisa Worms, Shabbat Shalom. You must be beside yourself watching the news to see what's happening in the US. Huh? Tina and Neil, Shabbat Shalom to you. Neil, I haven't forgotten your email. I will do it this week. I haven't forgotten you. Huh? Anna, Shabbat Shalom. Maya, Shabbat Shalom. Michelle as well. Shabbat Shalom, Michelle. Okay. It's good to have you all online tonight. And of course, all of you who are on Twitter and YouTube, I don't have a name, so Shabbat Shalom to you anyway. Okay, I'm going to sing a song, and maybe you know it, and we'll go from there. תנו לשמש לעלות, לבוקר להאיר, חזקה שבתפילות אותנו לא תחזיר. מי אשר קבע נרו ובעפר נטמן, בחימר לא יאירו, לא יחזירו לכאן. איש אותנו לא ישיב, מבור תחתית אפל, כאן לא הילו לו שמחת הניצחון, ולא שירי הלב. לכן רק שירו שיר השלום, אל תלחשו תפילה. לכן רק שירו שיר לשלום, בצדקה גדולה. תנו לשמש לחדור, מבעד לפרחים, אל תביטו לאחור, הניחו להולכים. שאו עיניים בתקווה, לא דרך כוונות, שירו שיר לאהבה, ולא למלחמות. אל תגידו יום יבוא, הביאו את היום, כי לא חלום הוא בכל הכיכרות, הריעו רק שלום. לכן רק שירו שיר לשלום, אל תלחצו תפילה, לכן חג שירו, שיר לשלום בצעקה גדולה. So just sing a song for peace. Don't whisper a prayer, just sing a song for peace in a loud shout. That's the chorus. Let the sun rise, light up the morning. The purest of prayers will not bring us back. He whose candle was snuffed out and was buried in the dust. Bitter crying won't wake him up and won't bring him back. Nobody will bring us back from a dead and darkened pit. Here, neither the victory cheer, no songs of praise will help. Allow the sun to penetrate through the flowers. Don't look back, let go of those departed. Lift your eyes with hope, not through the rifle's sights. Sing a song for love and not for war. Don't say the day will come, bring on the day, because it is not a dream, and all the city squares cheer only for peace. So the reason why I've chosen this song is because 25 years ago in Tel Aviv, it was the end of Shabbat. Many Israelis came to celebrate the Oslo Accords, which Yitzhak Rabin had already signed. You remember that it was in 95, and he signed this with Yasser Arafat and the American president Bill Clinton, and he came back with this, hope for peace. And they were all together, on the. I don't know if you've been to Tel Aviv, this big square in front of a town hall, and singing together with candles, etc. And then a guy came behind his back and he shot him. He shot Yitzhak Rabin in the back and killed him. And this guy was called Yigal Amir, and he was a right-wing radical who didn't like the idea of peace. And it's fair to say that in the peace process between Israel and the Palestinians, this marked really a turning point, because, of course, the accords were still put in place with a Palestinian Authority in the West Bank, etc., etc. But it went downhill actually after that. And a few years later, Ariel Sharon was prime minister then. It was in 2003 or 4, I don't remember exactly the date. He left the Gaza Strip, and then the Hamas took over. There was a division between the Hamas and the PLO, and so today we are in a big mess. And in a way, it started in the end of the 90s, and it's the 25th anniversary. I thought I don't usually do that, to speak only about one person, but it's so important. And I really wanted to show you a video which was made by the Leobek Center, Education Center in Haifa, but apparently I still don't know how to use this stream. I'm very, very sorry about it. But the students from the Leobek Center in Haifa did a video where we talk about how they feel about this Yitzhak Rabin assassination, and they're all, they were not born then. So for them, it was before their birth, and they grew up in a divided country with, prospect of peace with Israel and between Israel and Palestinians, very, very difficult. And of course, there has been some peace that Netanyahu managed with the help of Trump to sign with a few Arab states. But if you think about the Palestinians, which are not part of the conversation at all, it's not going to go down well. It's not sorting the situation to make peace with a country which doesn't have any border with Israel. So Yitzhak Rabin, just a few. I just wanted to give you a few details about this man, Yitzhak Rabin. So he was born in Jerusalem in 1922, and he was a labor Zionist, so he was always on the left. His parents came from Eastern Europe, and he went to, he learned agriculture, and then he joined the Palmach, which was the, Palmach was the the force of the Yishuv, the settlement of Jews before the creation of Israel. And he became a chief operation during the Independence War in 48, 47, 48. And of course, he was an ambassador to the United States, and he was a prominent political figure of the State of Israel, the early decades of the State of Israel. And remember that until the 70s, Israel was mainly run by the Labour Party, and then some right parties came over. So he was the architect of the Oslo Accords, and for that he won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1994. With Yasser Arafat, which is, like the enemies, they shook hands, and it took so much courage to do that. When you think about decades of enmity, and it took so much courage and statesmanship to be able to do that, to have a vision of peace between Israel and Palestinians, which could have been achieved, had these Oslo Accords been run till the end. So 25 years ago, and I found it quite ironic that we remember such a statesman at a moment when the elections in the United States are not settled yet. I mean, maybe they are now, I don't know, where you can see that clearly the current president of the United States is nothing, is not a statesman. We can find any other qualifications, but he's certainly not a statesman, doesn't have a vision. And what really saddens me is you can find still 70 million people voting for this man. So we have sometimes very good statesmen, and sometimes we don't. But Yitzhak Rabin is to be remembered not because the process failed, but because it's possible. It's possible to have his dream. And if you look at Shir Shalom, this song, which they were singing as he was killed, says, don't say the day will come, bring on that day, because it is not a dream. Al tagidu yom yavo, haviyu et hayom, ki lo chalom, because it's not a dream. Uvechol hakikarot hariyu rak shalom, and in all the city places, squares, cheer only for peace. Shabbat shalom. So let me go back now to Dee. Dee is here. Shabbat shalom, Dee. It's good to have you. Dee from Peterborough. Okay, so I'm just looking now at my emails, not to see who has written me during Shabbat, but just to find out actually what's on. And, I keep saying this, but the newsletter that is, where is it? That Craig designed every week is just brilliant. So everything that I like you. Oh gosh, of course I can't find it. So just on the 17th, I will start biblical Hebrew class. Oh, okay, let's see. A biblical Hebrew class. It's not next week; it's the following week. And as I wrote my little blurb, the only requirement is actually to be able to read, to read some Hebrew, to be able to read the letters. You don't need to be a fluent Hebrew reader to do that. But 17th of November, which will be Tuesday at 7 p.m., and I put the link on to find the book. I mean, Hebrew books are not always cheap, so it's this one, which is quite a very good one. And I chose this one first because it's very good, and also because it comes from University College London, and Lily Khan is a lecturer in Hebrew, and the book is just brilliant. So I put the link, and I didn't put the link on Amazon because I think we should avoid as much as possible to use Amazon because they don't pay the tax, they treat the employee like dirt. And they are really getting fatter and fatter on our back. So there are other ways, to buy books online. There are several places where you can find books, and it's a link to the publisher. So you can go directly to the publisher and not go through Amazon. It's not cheaper, Of course, it takes a bit more time, but there's something really wrong with Amazon, which is this mega, and Bezos made billion of dollars during the lockdown, and I think we should fight against it. Okay. Monday, Sarah was here. She will chair a discussion with Rosie Whitehouse, who wrote a book, The People on the Beach. So you find it on our website and the newsletter. I think it will be a very interesting read. Dominique Scholtes continues her Hebrew for beginners class on Thursday evening. And so next week, Friday and Saturday, Shabbat services as usual. Sadly, we cannot host you at KLS anymore with a second lockdown, but we are still allowed to go into the sanctuary and to stream our services from the sanctuary. So the usual suspect, Greg, Rebecca, and myself will be from KLS next week. Tomorrow we have a family service, so we prepared something with Caroline and Beitenu, so there will be a service for the families and for the kids. So if the link is also somewhere on the on the newsletter. And I think just have a look for the rest. And so Jason Thompson said you have a PDF of this grammar. That's great. So if you can send it to me, then I can give it to those who don't want to buy the book. So that's really nice. Okay. So before we say the Kaddish, I know that. Oh yes, I forgot. So we have welcomed this week new members, and I hope they're here online tonight. There's always the Flanny gang, Jennifer, Robert, and their 6 children who came from Ealing. So they were part of Ealing's liberal community, and they are now members of KLS. So welcome to the Flanagan family. Welcome to Sybil Gilbert, who lives in Warwickshire, and I think she's here online tonight as well. Welcome to Anna Sanderson, who lives in Westborough in Wiltshire. And welcome also to Rose Young. And Rose Young, it's really sad because Rose Young lost her husband, and we did his funeral on last Wednesday. But they were a member of KLS some 30 or 40 years ago. So Rose, you're welcome back, and your daughters as well. So some of the older members who are online tonight may remember Rose and Ronald Young, who were members a long time ago. Okay, so there's plenty of information. Please have a look at this newsletter. So for the Kaddish, so I saw that Fleur, Alfred Baum. So Fleur's grandfather died in World War I, 105 years ago. I have also Rebecca's grandmother. I can't find Rebecca. Can you put the name of your grandmother? Oh yes, Jill. I'll talk about it later. Yes. So Janet Darley, your friend John Regan Phillips, and your father Byron Darley over your side. Rebecca, your grandmother wasn't mentioned, and I can't find the email. So if you can just and May Noah, the mother of Elsa Acton Bond. Have I forgotten anyone? No. Zichronam Livracha, may the memory be a blessing. And we say together. Dorothy Nyman, your grandmother. Okay, thank you, Rebecca. Page 524. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון, ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב, ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעלם ולעלמי עלמיה, יתברר וישתבר ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי לקודשה בריחו, לעילה מן כל ביחתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דאמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל בני אדם ואמרו אמן. Okay, so Jill, I forgot to mention, so Jill has brought together recipes from all of her KLS members. So I don't know yet, I think it's been printed, so there's a recipe book. So if, please talk to Jill about that. And Sarah Alston has put on the comment section the link to uk.bookshop.org to buy books online from your local bookshop. Okay, let's finish now on page 525 with Adon Olam. אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא לעת נשא וחפשו כל אזי מלך שמו נקרא ואחרי ככלות הכל לבדו ימלוך נורא והוא היה והוא הווה והוא יהיה בתפארה, והוא אחד ואין שני, להבשילו להכבירה, בלי ראשית, בלי תכלית, ולא העוז והמסחר, והוא אלי וחי גואלי, וצור חבלי בעת צרה, והוא ניסי ומנוס לי, מנת כוסי ביום אקחה, בידו אפקיד רוחי, בעת אישה והעירה, ועם רוחי גבייתי, אדוני לי ולא יירא. מי ששיכן את שמו בבית הזה, הוא ישכין ביניכם אהבה ואחווה ושלום ורעות. May the one whose presence dwells in your houses in this virtual space cause love and harmony, peace and friendship to dwell among us. Adonai עוז לעמו ייתן, Adonai יברך את עמו השלום. Eternal God, grant strength to people. Eternal God, bless you people with peace. And let us say Amen. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. And now we are turning to page 564. 564. And 563, actually, there is a blessing which we did last week, and I think let's bless each other with that. May God bless us and guide us. Let us seek truth, make peace, be kind and courteous in our words, just and loving in our deeds. A noble heritage has been entrusted to us. Let us guard it well. Yevarech Adonai v'shmerecha. May God bless us and keep us. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka. May God look kindly upon us and be gracious to us. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lanu shalom. May God reach out to us in tenderness and give us peace. Let us give thanks for the past week, for life and health, for home and love and friendship, for what we have achieved in our work and the satisfaction it has given us. And let us give thanks for the blessing of rest and peace, which the Shabbat brings to body, mind, and soul. Yom HaShishi, ויחולו השמיים והארץ בכל צבאם, ויחל אלוהים ביום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה, וישבות ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה, ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי, ויקדש אותו, כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, בורא פרי הגפן, אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר קידשנו במצוותיו ורצה בנו, ושבת קודשו באהבה וברצון הנחילנו, זיכרון למעשה בראשית. כי הוא יום תחילה למקרא קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים, כי בנו בחרת, ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת, אמן. לחיים. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, המוציא לחם מן הארץ, אמן. Thank you for being here tonight on our virtual KLS space, and I'll see you all tomorrow for our family service. And in the meantime, I hope you have a good night's sleep, and maybe we'll wake up with some good news tomorrow morning. Shabbat shalom, God bless.